Welcome to Target's mini launch. These are the Phil Taylor 80% black Swiss points and 80% silver Swiss points. You can see some of the details on the back here, and it's been a while since I reviewed an 80% tungsten dart. I like the contrasting colour scheme. I think they're really nicely packaged. Let's have a look and get inside. So here you can see they've got the lightning bolts on the stems and on the flights, and in slightly different colours for the black and the silver versions. Underneath the holder you have a wallet to also carry your darts around in. The barrels come assembled with the stems and are held with a point protector. Both sets of darts retail at $54.95. Now I've put all the details down at the bottom of the screen that you can see for your preferred length, diameter. These are 54mm long, so they're going to be slightly longer than I'm used to throwing, but they're a fantastic looking dart already. You can see the Swiss point at the front here. If you haven't used a Swiss point before, it's a screw in and out system, so you can change length, change grip, whatever you want. Now, these barrels have a nice micro grip that's separated by a slightly thicker grip using a sandblasted section. Now I really like sandblasting, and these sections do actually feel really nice between the micro grip, which sometimes I find to be a little bit slippy. You can see from this profile shot the groove just before where the point would snap if it was to snap, and then you've got the Allen key sort of octagon shape you can actually use to unscrew it, so you won't risk it actually breaking off flush to the barrel. Really good system, I personally like it. Now you can see the sandblasting is really nice and dark here, and you've got three sections that are relatively the same with this micro grip, and you can see how my finger sort of grips and stops as it gets to that sort of sandblasted section, which adds that extra grip. I really like the power signature mark here, and you can also see these sort of flat edges that they've got as I rotate it around. Really nice. I like the look of it. And on the rear section we have a replication of the front with the same sort of grippy feel to it. It tapers off ever so slightly at the rear and goes into these lightning bolt, which is the Phil Taylor Power signature stems there. We also have a really nice flight here which shows the 16-time champion, and I think I can catch it just around here somewhere. It does say that it's endorsed by the 16-time champion Phil Taylor. Not quite sure which way around it is. There you go. But I really like these arrows on these flights. They point in different directions, which if you catch it at the right angle then creates a lightning bolt. Thought it was a really clever little design bit there from Target. Yeah, well done. So let's have a look now at their silver version. Once again, $54.95, 80% tungsten. I've got all the details down the bottom if you want to have a look, so it'll give you your length, weight, dimensions, etc. that you have available to you. Now those who know me know I really do like a black dart, but I do love sandblasted darts. I think these look super. It also reminds me a little bit of what you used to see in the sort of phase 1 or 2, maybe even the phase 3 Taylor darts from his old unicorn days. This sort of slightly longer barrel, straight barrel with a ringed grip. Now these are radial cuts, I believe, and you've got similar sort of flat edges as it goes up and down the dart as well. As it tapers off, gives you a nice lightning bolt stem, and once again a sort of lighter version of these flights that we see with the two arrows creating that lightning bolt. As we get up close and personal, you get to see the finish of this dart even more. My only real gripe is that they come with smooth Swiss points, and I personally like a little bit more grip or rings on there because that's where I tend to rest my finger. But that's a personal thing. So you can see here we've got once again that sort of slightly flatter edge section, a micro grip section, a smooth section, and then we've got a much longer section of these radial cuts. It doesn't give you really a reference point, but it does have a nice consistency through the whole barrel, so you can shift about and still feel it wherever you choose to hold your dart. A light white and light blue stem there, and we can also see the arrow lightning bolt theme that we saw in the darker version. So at 54mm long, it is on the longer side of darts that I tend to throw, so it's not going to really suit me too much. I'm going to find that these sit a little bit flatter than normal, but if you like a longer dart, this might be a really good option for you. The grip's a little bit more aggressive on the silver version, so if you're thinking about the two of them and you want a more aggressive grip, I'd say that the silver was, provided that you're on that longer section of grip. With them having the same length and very similar profiles, I do expect these to throw very similarly, though what I would say is that you get a little bit more front grip from the black darts and a little bit more rear grip on the back darts, because that grip goes all the way along and you don't have those smooth sections that you do with the silver version. Either way, they're a very, very nice looking dart. I really do like those sort of flatter edges that are sort of creating, I don't know, it's more than an octagon sort of shape around the dart. The sandblasting's really, really good. The stems are a little bit sort of cheaper looking, but I don't have a problem with them. I think they're a really, really well nice put together dart. The whole setup looks great. Let's get them to the board. So my first impressions from my first throw was literally that these darts do sit very, very flat because of that length, but they went through the air really, really nice. I love the grip on them. That was almost a repeat of the first throw. Like you can see, this angle for me, even with a shorter stem and a standard flight, or so I think it's their number 6 flight, does sit very, very flat. At no point during the testing of these darts did they slip out of my hand. You've got a really, really nice, I'd say on the high end of medium grip. Let's try the black one now. So one of the first things that I noticed with these darts, they don't feel like an 80% tungsten dart. I think it was Target's Yoko that felt a little bit thicker. These feel like a 90% barrel dart. It's really interesting. It may be because they're 54mm long and 23 grams that they sort of have to be a little bit thinner, so perhaps you'll notice the difference more if you do throw longer barrel darts. Another thing, at $54.95, they're not cheap for an 80% barrel dart, but once again, they are a Phil Taylor endorsed dart, so it's going to carry that premium.
Now both of these darts are a little bit too long for me personally. However, what I'm thinking is, if I hold from further back on the dart, using the new stems, will it allow me to get the higher entry that I usually like when I'm throwing a dart? Let's have a look. So here we go, using the new stems. I'm going to throw them first of all, just as normal, to see if they sit any lower, because they might be a little bit heavier. They do sit lower. Maybe not.
A little preview of the Pro Grip Evo aluminium short silver stems here. The aluminium section comes coloured in lots of different varieties and different lengths. The tops are all the same length. I've only been sent the short ones, but I've got a review coming up after this. Now whilst these are a little bit heavier and a little bit longer than the standard Pro Grip stems that are in short, I did actually find that they threw pretty much the same. What these do provide though is a nice little bit of extra grip if you do hold slightly behind the barrel. Like I said, this is in an upcoming video. Please do check it out. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel, and if you put your notifications on, you won't miss it when it comes out. So, what can I say about these darts? Firstly, I think for a Phil Taylor dart, I think they're absolutely beautiful. I wouldn't personally have known whether they were 80% or 90% unless I was told, which, to be fair, a lot of people might get stuck up on. A lot of people these days like a 90% dart, but I think if you tried these, you wouldn't necessarily know. The sandblast finishing, the flight design, the whole thing is put together really well, and I like the fact that it comes in the Swiss point system, which personally I really like. My only gripe is that they don't come in a slightly smaller size that would work for me, and by that I mean length, of course. My next video features the Pro Grip Evo stems. They have different colour and aluminium sections that are slightly longer, and all of the heads are the same and you just screw them in like this. Now, like I said, this is in my upcoming video, so please do check it out. I'd like to thank Target for sending me these to review, and I'd like to thank you for watching the video. If you're in the market for a 54mm straight barrel dart that's grippy, give them a go. Thanks for watching, and remember, love darts.